Good morning. It is December 13th, 8:25 a.m. Big news coming out. CPI. CPI is coming out 8:30. I don't know. Did somebody whisper in the ear? Somebody told somebody yesterday's breakout a little bit. Not surprising, being that we were both. Let's just go right into the 60-minute charts. Being that we were in balance for so long, we kind of broke out of this balance, which is not a surprise. And there was a lot of short covering because you have the most the most traded price of the month and the week all together. You break out of this, you're going to get people covering. That's not a surprise. It's just a surprise to me a little bit that we did break out. I thought we would kind of go right back to the mean, but we didn't. So who knows? Maybe the market thinks that they know what the number's going to be. The PPI was not good, but maybe this would be good. And so we have to see, right? Let's look at the data that we're looking at for 8:30. We're looking at core CPI month over month. Last time was zero point 0.3. They're looking for zero point 0.3. Core CPI year over year. They're looking at 6.3 before. They're looking at a 6.1, about a zero point 0.2 drop. CPI year over year. Now, before was 7.7. They're expecting 7.3. Okay. We need to get below that, at least at 7. What the heck was that about? The market just popped. Very interesting. The market just popped and sold off. You see that wick? You see that? Went right into the supply zone and literally just died. Very weird. Very weird. Trying to see if there was any news. No, that was like very odd. Yeah, I know supply zones work, but damn. Very. Oof. I don't know what that was. Wow. That was pretty interesting. All right, let's look. If we get a 7, at least 7, the market's going to go flying high. Get hotter than 7.3, the market's going to go low, right? And we're going to knock all these buyers out. They will mean nothing. Okay. CPI month over month. Last time was zero point 0.4. They're expecting 0.3. So month over month, they're only expecting a small decline. Year after year, they're expecting a zero point 0.4 decline. So this is going to be very interesting. Very, very interesting. Minute and a half now. Minute and a half to the moment of truth. We'll have to see here. All right, 30 seconds. Market's already starting to jump around. Look at that candle. Look at that wick. Doesn't mean anything until the news drops, but that's just, you could see it's already building. This is Santa Claus or not? Santa Claus or Grinch? Look, whoop. News dropped right now. Let's see. The numbers are down. Look at that, guys. Look at that move. Look at that move. The numbers are down. This is bullish. Very bullish. They are down in every category. Check it out. Year over year, we're down 0.2. Santa Claus is coming. Down 0.1 over core CPI. Down 0.1 over core CPI year over year. CPI year over year down 0.2. Very interesting. CPI month over month down 0.2. There it is. Santa Claus is coming to town. Somebody knew something yesterday. Did somebody know something? There it is. Let me do some house cleaning here. Wow. We're already up to 41.44. Let's check the watch list really quickly. Look at Nvidia. Up 6.93% at 187. Tesla up 6.5%. Coin. AMD 75. Snow 160. This is nuts. Look at that. Morgan Stanley not down that much, right? That's Roblox, Qualcomm. Look at that. Financials aren't doing too the best here. Semiconductors right now, looking at the hottest sector, followed by tech, followed by energy. Alright, you can see the market profile I got going on here. Single prints galore. Alright, that's a pretty big wick now. People took profit. People taking profit there. Alright, that's people taking profit. You can see that. Obviously, this is a very good sign for the market. PPI was hot. This was soft. Or let's look at some dailies here. I'm gonna switch these over. Nope. Let's just see a daily shot of the ES to show you guys where exactly we are here. Alright, so we just ripped up higher, right? Now look, we hit the trend line, went over it, and look where we went. I mentioned this the other day. This high volume note here. Really? This friggin' pen. In a sec, let me get my Epic pen to not be a pain in the butt here. Alright, so you can see right here. Where do we go? Look at that node. The high volume node right there, right? That's where the rejection came. And this trend line. Look at the 200-day moving average. We're above it, right? So let's look at the NASDAQ. NASDAQ hit the trend line as well. Now it's over the 100-day. Here's the 200 moving average. Okay. There's a little node right here, but really I think it hit the top of this, almost the low volume node here. So kind of hit this resistance right here, right? I expect follow through. I mean, remember we have FOMC tomorrow, but it's kind of interesting about the FOMC because we kind of all know we're getting 50 basis points, but I guess it's what they're going to do in the future. What's really going to tell the tale here? Let's see what crude's doing. Crude's starting to make a little comeback from these lows. Let's see the Russell. All right, everyone's getting a little wick, getting some pullbacks here, getting some profit taking. Let's look at the ES. Look at that. My God. Talk about single prints, guys. When I talk about single prints, that's what I mean right here. Look at all that. There's that monster move. The high was 41.80 in futures. 41.80. We're at 41.045. That's 75 points lower. It's selling off pretty decently right now. Now, I'm seeing something here. We're going to come to the 200-day moving average. That could be a bounce point. Could be a bounce point. Let's look at the NASDAQ. Here's the 100-day. See, so the 100-day and the 200-day could be bounce. Could be a nice bounce point. Now let's go to the longer term charts. And we'll just see where the ES went right up to, right? Just can't make this stuff up. There's that node, high volume node, right? This is where price went. That's where price went. I talked about the other day. Where are we gonna go? That's where we went. That's where we shot up to, right? Let's see the NASDAQ here. Now the NASDAQ didn't like jump out like the ES did. However, see this low volume node here, which means it either can whip through it or it's going to act as resistance. We also, yeah, I would say that's more or less the low volume node. That's where that went. So basically, if we go to bring a cursor here, we actually didn't go there. Let's see where we went. We went basically, let's see, what month is that? That is September. September's most traded price of the month. It's kind of where we went. That's 122.35. You guys can't see that on the chart. Sorry about that, but that's where we went. But the ES really really showed off the high volume node here, right here. You can't miss that. You can't miss it going right here. So now the key is here is, a couple weeks ago, 4109 was the most traded price of the week here. You could see that. Okay, that could be a nice jump off point too. Can that hold the market? Can this little, you can see this little node here. Can this hold this 4109? Can we hold that? That's going to be key, right? Also the 200-day moving average. That's going to be very key. See, now it's starting to we're starting to maybe get new buyers in the market here. So pre-market right now. Okay. Let's see. We are 3.57% up. Russell up almost 3. Look at silver. Wow. ES 2.6. Crude's up 2.16. Okay, let me look at crude real quick. Okay, crude had a bottom here, moved up. A bunch of single prints yesterday. And now we're up here. I mean, obviously not as bullish as the other indexes. $41.30 we're at right now. High was $41.80. Alright, let's go back to the hourly chart here. Let's go to the SPY chart. Let's go to what we're seeing under the hood here. SPY made a high of 414. Okay. So back, where was this? Back on December 1st. We had a couple of maybe this might be a point here, 409, where we could pull back here and then you can go long possibly. Let's see the Qs. Qs are at 296. They made a high of 300, so they're underneath this level. We have this level, I'm gonna say here, 295, possible pullback. Now where are we at now? So this is the crazy part, right? We closed here in the Qs. We closed at 285, 285.58 to be exact. We're at 296 right now. We're here. We're right at these highs. Now we have that trend line here too as well in the Qs. This trend line. So we're right. We hit the trend line basically at 300. And now we're right here. We're right about these highs. It's a very interesting spot. And the SPY currently at 409, almost 410. Well, same thing, right? This high that we originally made, that's where we are. We're right here. So if we can hold around here, Maybe hit the back of this trend line. We're actually above the trend line right now. We're above the trend line. If I adjust the trend line, maybe you're say we're at it, but we're right around the trend line in the SPY. Okay, futures is a little different. So then you have 411, which is a big level in the SPY. 411 could act as resistance. Okay, in the Qs, you don't have. Let's see. You might have 296 here, a little resistance here, 296. So there's that. Do have resistance at 296? That's what we're holding here. From there, you don't really have much. And then you have a gap. You have 307 next. I don't know. Q's has a little clearer path. Let's look at the triple headed. TNX. Look at that. At 3.478. It's down 3%. 3.79%. We're right here right now. Okay. Let's look at that dollar. The dollar is also down. Look at that. Look at that move down. That's positive for commodities, positive for equities, okay? And the VIX. The VIX, look at that. That just dumped. It went up here, 25.71, wham, all the way down to 22. Right at this support level right here. I'm going to mark this off. Oop. Mark it off here. Let's see. Right here, this support. I mean, this probably will get broken. But I want to. Alright, that's. Maybe I want to go to the lows here instead. I just want to be notified when this breaks, because that'll also be a cue to go to being confluent with going long. What's the Dow doing? Dow's right around 347. The Dow's up here, right up at these highs. So every recent high, okay, Qs are at recent swing highs, and so are the Qs in the SPY. They're right at the recent highs. So the market's either going to rip higher from here. I mean, I would assume we get some follow through. I mean, that's what usually happens. Let's see the Russell. The Russell's at 185, so I'm assuming it's probably here. No, see, the Russell's weaker. Russell's here. The other indexes are at the highs here, right? So let's look at that SPY just to review what I'm saying. So check these highs out, right? 409, right? We're at 409.94 right now, so that's where we're at. Qs, this is the recent high, 295. We're at 296. We're above it, a little above it, right? So that's the current theme we're at right now. And let's see here, as far as the SPY, we have the 200-day moving average, which is right here. It's at 402.67. We're now well above that. We're well above the 200 moving average. So that's not really going to cause for concern. And we're above this trend line. So I would definitely, my plan is probably to wait. Is going to be to wait. Be patient off the open. Obviously, I think everybody's gonna want to go long. We have a pretty big gap up, so I want to wait. Possibly, maybe we come down to the 200, the 100-day moving. I mean, sorry, 200-day moving average. So if you look over here, ES right now 41.42, right here. So today I'll probably look to see if we can kiss this 200-day moving average around 40.80, 40.77. Can we come down here? If we pop below it and go above it, that's a long. That's really what I have. The only thing I really want to look at. And obviously, that's going to coincide to see if we can come back to the recent high in the SPY, which is at 409. Okay, so that's what I'm going to look for. In the Qs, it's going to be a pullback. So we just hit a supply zone too in the Qs. So we'll look at that chart in 1 second. But I think the 100-day moving average is right here. It's another thing. Can we go like this, right? So it's very important to have to see what we can do here. Let's look at the Qs. So obviously we're busting out of this range. The range high was 122.53. We're right here. All right, but what do we have above us? Not a lot above us. Let's look at a longer time frame. Look at that. There is almost zero resistance above us from this drop. We can break 123.70 right here. Woof. There is resistance right here, the 200-day moving average at 126.08. That will be the only thing in its way till about 130.18, because this drop is a one-way street. Okay, that is the gap. That's the gap. From what day was this? September 13th. Okay, so very important. So I'm going to look at that 100-day moving average. And even another thing we can look at is you can play pop above the 123.70 and come back to the 123.70 to go long. Now you do have the 200-day moving average here, so I would probably take some profits there at 126. All right, and lastly, I'm going to leave you with the ES. We'll look at the ES in a long-term chart. Just so we can see what lies ahead of us here. Now, a little different because we have this big node here. This is a little bit of a problem to get through, but if we do, right, it's a little different. See, this drop here happened to be around a lot of volume. Okay, so that's why we popped up here. And we have supply here. Watch what we took off here. So we broke this 41.36. Now 41.36 is we're hanging around it right now. Okay, so even if we come up here, maybe we pull back. Maybe we pull back here. get rid of this. I don't think this is accurate at this one. This thing doesn't look right to me. So that's this is right here. Like I said, this could cause for a little bit of a balance area here. But you have a drop here, right? That we pretty much are almost at. Then we have this drop. So I think we definitely could possibly come up to here in this area, 42.53. So that's what I'm trying to look for. And we have that 100-day, the 200-day moving average, which is right there. That's probably ultimate pullback. We're a little ways away from that. We're a ways away from that. So that would be truly, maybe now that I'm looking at it, a little surprising to drop back that far. So 41.36 is probably a good area to look, even if we push up initially and we come back. But I don't know. This is going to be a little wild ride. So I wish everybody good luck today. All right. I'm going to be patient and see what the market shows because, right off the bat, I don't know. People could take profit. You don't know exactly what will happen. I most likely think, obviously, we're going to go higher from here. I mean, this is what the market needed. But we have FOMC tomorrow. So, all right. So for me, that's it for me. Um, I'm going to leave you guys with the watch list. Give me a comment, like, or subscribe if you haven't already. Um, I'll be back tomorrow. We have FOMC tomorrow. So that's another big day. But this is kind of what Santa Claus needed for this market. All right. Unless they come out with some other thing tomorrow with the FOMC. But we have to see. All right. Take it easy, guys.